So you want to be successful, you don't really know how to get there. Today I'm going to be covering the 3 pillars you guys need to follow in order to actually become successful. For those of you guys that don't know me, I have everything most people would dream of, okay? I have the car, I have an apartment now. I'm gonna show you guys really quick what my apartment looks like. It's a little bit messy. This is my setup right here. Again, it's a little bit messy. I was filming today. This is my view. I don't know if you'll be able to see because of the reflection or the glare, but this is the view. So I think a lot of success really comes down to 3 attributes, because the reason I was successful isn't because I'm smarter than anyone, or isn't because the business I chose was better. It's simply because the attributes I have allow me to be successful. So the first thing you need to have is you need to be very selfish. And I wouldn't say selfish as in like not care about others, but if you have a goal, you need to like strive for it. Like, you are going to upset people. You're gonna upset even your family. I mean, even me moving away from my family, like, I know that was upsetting for them because I have a very loving family, and they didn't want to see me go. But it's just like, you have to sometimes make that decision and be a little bit selfish, and it sucks, but that's what it takes. You have to kind of be a little bit selfish and go for the next thing that's going to be important to you to get to where you want to go. I think the biggest thing though is definitely you need to be a little bit delusional. Obviously, when you start your first business, especially, I think it's really your first business. That's going to be the hardest time and the hardest part of being successful, because you actually have to be delusional. Like, you're going to have people around you that think it's a waste of time. When I started my Amazon business, I had even my brother would probably make fun of me a little bit for that, because it's something that it's so out of the ordinary. Who's making money online? No one, right? No one's making money online. And so a lot of people are gonna be very small-minded in some of the things that you wanna do. So you just have to be delusional enough to ignore every single thing you do. One of the posts I made today was talking about just not caring as well about what other people think, because you can go and you can buy, say, a Lamborghini, right? You could be 21 years old driving a Lamborghini, and guess what? You're gonna have someone that either says, oh, well, why didn't you buy a house? You just bought a supercar, like, what's wrong with you? Or you're gonna have the other person that says, well, just a Huracan, like, you didn't get an SVJ, you didn't get, a hypercar, you didn't get something better. You're always gonna have people that hate on you, that you will never be able to please. Like, there's never gonna be a time where you're in the middle, where everyone's just like, oh, okay, this guy's chill. It's never a thing. So you just have to understand that, like, people's opinion never mattered. Even like when you're younger, like even like some of the people that you wanted to be friends with, there's just certain people that didn't like you, and you never did anything to them. You never did anything wrong. They just didn't like you. That's what most of these haters are. They're just people that have problems. They just don't like you. And so you have to kind of keep that in mind, especially when you start that first business, because you're going to have a lot of, doubters, people that are rude to you. So just ignore that. The last thing and the final pillar to really kind of get where you want to be is just being action-based. So instead of being a performance-based person, you need to be action-based, okay? Because the minute you start, trying to make 10K a month, and you assume that you're going to make that within 3 months, 6 months, you're going to start getting into a little bit of a pressure. You're going to get really a lot of pressure on yourself, and you're not going to be at that most of the time. Most people are not going to be at that within 6 months, right? And so then what happens is you think that the business model is not good, or you think that maybe you're not good. Something you might get in your head, who knows? But the problem is most people will end up switching to a different business model, thinking that's going to solve everything. But the problem is the business model isn't the issue. It's you. You are the issue. You are why you're not where you want to be. A lot of these businesses, every single business you guys hear about, every single one of these businesses work. I've met people in every single industry making money, doing very well for themselves. It's just to get to that top 3%, top 5% where you're actually making pretty good money, it takes a bit of time. It's going to take a bit of time. So if you're not going to be that person that's going to commit to something, there's no point in you even starting a business at all. You might as well just settle for a normal job, because that is what it takes to be successful. You can't just, willy-nilly try it, hope something happens in 6 months. It's you start, and now you're not gonna stop until it does work. So that's kind of the way you actually have to approach things. And I think it's easier for me to be successful. Like if I wanted to try a different business, I think it would be easier for me to get successful in that new business now, because I've built up the fundamentals that it takes now to be successful. Now I know what you actually have to do. And so I think it's a little bit easier now. I also have a bit more free time since I'm not working a full-time job anymore. But those are the things you have to think about. And I think that's what's gonna actually propel you to actually being successful. So for those of you guys that do really want to get somewhere, really just listen to those 3 pillars, okay? Just be a bit delusional and go crazy. I think manifestation is really real as well. There was a lot of times before I got my M4, there was a lot of times where I would watch videos of people driving an M4, and I would pretend that I'm driving an M4. So you just have to be like a little crazy in the head. And I kind of liked that little period, because I think once you finally get these things, right? Once I finally got the M4, I was really obviously ecstatic for the first little month, but it's like eventually that feeling does fade a little bit, right? So you're not gonna have that same excitement in that stairway up. The actual fun part is the stairway up. It really isn't getting to the top, because once you do get the place, you get the car, it's just, you have it. It's just, it doesn't even really matter anymore. Because the only thing that mattered was you just growing to that person that gets it. So keep that in mind. I hope all of you are successful. And if you guys need any help or have any questions for me, shoot me a DM on Instagram. It'll be in the description and in the comment section.